Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going on a little field trip into the labyrinthine, often baffling world of the US Congress. We're talking weird but true facts, the kind of things that make you wonder who thought these were good ideas in the first place. And look, I know what you're thinking. Congress, that's about as exciting as watching paint dry, right? But trust me on this one. We're diving deep into the obscure, the bizarre, the downright unbelievable. We're talking secret rooms, underground transportation systems, and historical oddities that'll make you spit out your coffee. Okay, maybe not literally. Unless you're drinking coffee right now. In which case, maybe wait until after this video. So buckle up, because we're about to uncover the hidden side of US Congress. Let's get started. Okay, first up on our whirlwind tour of congressional curiosities is this. The US Capitol building has its very own subway system. Yes, you heard that right. A subway. Underneath the Capitol. It's like something out of a Dan Brown novel, but instead of ancient conspiracies, it mostly just transports tired politicians. This subterranean network, first opened in 1909, consists of 3 lines connecting the Capitol building to the Senate and House office buildings. It's basically a way for senators and representatives to zip around without having to deal with, the public, or traffic. And while it might not be the most glamorous mode of transportation, it's definitely efficient. Imagine trying to wrangle 535 members of Congress through the halls of power during peak hour. It would be absolute chaos. So the next time you're stuck in traffic, just think of those lucky ducks cruising along underground, probably debating the merits of a filibuster. Because speaking of filibusters, that brings us to another weird but true fact about Congress. Stay tuned. Okay, so we've established that the US Capitol building is basically a giant sprawling maze of marble and history, but did you know that it also houses secret rooms? Yeah, secret rooms. Because what's a good government building without a few hidden nooks and crannies? Now, we don't know about all of them, some secrets are just too juicy to reveal, but there are a few we do know about. There's the Brumidi Corridor, a hidden passageway adorned with ornate frescoes that was used as a makeshift bomb shelter during World War II. Then there's the Old Supreme Court Chamber, a beautifully preserved time capsule from the early days of the Republic, hidden away behind the current Supreme Court Chamber. It's like stepping back in time, except instead of powdered wigs and breeches, you're more likely to find tourists snapping selfies. These secret rooms, shrouded in history and mystery, offer a glimpse into the hidden lives of the people who have walked the halls of power. And they just make you wonder, what else is hidden behind those walls? More than meets the eye. Of course, it's not just the Capitol building itself that's full of secrets. The entire Capitol complex is a rabbit warren of hidden hallways, forgotten tunnels, and maybe even a few ghosts. Okay, probably not ghosts, but you never know. There are rumors of a secret tunnel connecting the Capitol building to the White House, though those rumors have never been officially confirmed. And some say there's a hidden room beneath the Capitol Rotunda that's used for clandestine meetings and late-night poker games. Now, I'm not saying that any of this is true, but I'm not saying it's not true either, because that's the thing about secrets. Sometimes it's more fun not knowing. But whether or not these rumors are true, one thing's for sure. The US Capitol building is a place full of surprises. Next up on our list, a slightly less glamorous but equally fascinating fact about Congress. And this one involves a surprising amount of spitting. Picture this. It's the 1800s and you're a member of Congress. You're in a heated debate, chewing tobacco, and you need to spit. Enter the spittoon, a brass receptacle for tobacco juice. These were common in Congress, a testament to the times. Today it's hard to imagine Congress with spittoons, but it's a quirky part of history. Alright, so we've all heard of filibusters, right? Those epic speeches in the Senate designed to delay or even derail a vote. In 1957, Strom Thurmond from South Carolina set the record with a 24-hour filibuster. He aimed to block the Civil Rights Act, reading from documents, phone books, and even Shakespeare. Despite his efforts, the act passed, highlighting the lengths some go to maintain the status quo. Thurmond's filibuster remains a powerful, controversial moment in Senate history. Okay, so we've talked about spittoons and epic filibusters, but let's dive into something a little less, shall we say, messy. Believe it or not, the US Congress also has a softer side. Yes, my friends, you heard that right. Congress has a barbershop and a beauty salon. Even lawmakers need a trim now and then. Imagine negotiating a budget deal with a bad hair day. It's just not a recipe for productive governance. These aren't your run-of-the-mill salons. Presidents and Supreme Court justices have been known to visit. Can you imagine getting your hair cut next to a Supreme Court justice? I wonder if they discuss case law while getting a trim. Or maybe they just gossip about the latest political scandals. And the beauty salon, well, it's seen its fair share of power players over the years too. Senators, congresswomen, even first ladies are rumored to have frequented its chairs. It's a place where the weight of the world, and perhaps a few hair rollers, are momentarily set aside. Now you might be thinking this is all well and good, but I'm just a regular person. I can't just waltz into Congress and demand a haircut, can I? And you'd be right. These establishments are primarily for the use of Congress members and their staff. Which, I suppose, makes sense. But still, it's kind of fun to imagine, right? Sneaking past security, blending in with a group of aides, and finding yourself face-to-face with the stylist who shapes the Speaker of the House's hair. It'd be like a scene out of a political thriller, only with less international intrigue and more hairspray. But even if we can't personally experience the glamour of the congressional salon, it's comforting to know it exists. It's a reminder that even in the midst of the seriousness, the gravity of governing a nation, there's still room for a little self-care. And who knows, maybe one day they'll open up those salon doors to the public. And when they do, Mr. Smith goes to Washington for a haircut. Okay, so you're probably thinking a crypt, like where they bury people? And yeah, that was the original plan. George Washington was supposed to be entombed here, but he wanted to be buried at Mount Vernon. So, the crypt sat empty, this weird, echoing space beneath Congress. Over the years it's been used for everything from a temporary chamber to a tavern. Today it houses a compass pointing north, symbolizing direction in politics, and statues representing states standing watch over the country. So, we've talked about the crypt, but now let's head upstairs to the National Statuary Hall. Now this is like the ultimate American history lesson, all told through the medium of, well, statues. See, each state gets to send 2 statues to represent themselves in this grand hall. 2 figures who embody the spirit, the history, the achievements of their state. You've got everyone from presidents and politicians to inventors and activists, all standing shoulder to shoulder, or at least, as shoulder to shoulder as statues can stand. Now you might think, okay, a bunch of statues, that's cool I guess. But I'm telling you, there's something kind of amazing about walking through this hall, seeing all these figures from different eras, different backgrounds, all brought together in this one space. It's a reminder that American history isn't just one story, it's thousands of stories, all woven together. It's messy, it's complicated, and sometimes it's downright weird. But hey, isn't that true of any good story? But how do the states actually choose who gets immortalized in marble or bronze? Well, it's a whole process. Usually the state legislature gets together and they have a big debate, kind of like a really serious game of who's most likely to be remembered in 100 years. And it's not just about being famous or powerful. Sure, you've got your George Washingtons and your Abraham Lincolns, but you've also got people like Sacagawea, the Native American woman who guided Lewis and Clark, and Helen Keller, the author and activist who overcame deafness and blindness. Each statue tells a story, not just about the person it depicts, but about the state that chose them, about the values they hold dear. And as the years go by, and new statues are added, the collection becomes this ever-evolving portrait of America itself. It's a work in progress, sure, just like the country it represents. But that's kind of the beauty of it, isn't it? Alright, let's rewind the clock a bit and talk about one of the most momentous decisions ever made by, you guessed it, Congress. I'm talking about the purchase of Alaska, a land deal so big, so audacious, that people back then called it Seward's Folly or Seward's Icebox. See, back in 1867, Russia was looking to sell Alaska. They weren't really using it for much, and they figured, hey, why not make a quick buck? So they approached the United States, and Secretary of State William Seward, he saw an opportunity. Now, not everyone was thrilled about this idea. I mean, Alaska? It was this vast frozen wasteland thousands of miles away. What were we going to do with all that ice and snow? But Seward, he had vision. He saw the strategic importance of Alaska, its resources, its potential. And so, after much debate and negotiation, Congress agreed to buy Alaska from Russia for the grand total of $7.2 million. That's about 2 cents an acre. I mean, talk about a steal. Of course, hindsight is 20/20, and we all know now that Alaska was a bargain of epic proportions. It's rich in natural resources, from oil and gold to fish and timber. It's a land of stunning beauty, with towering mountains, glaciers, and vast wilderness. But back then, it was a gamble, a leap of faith. And it's a testament to the foresight, or maybe just the sheer audacity, of those involved that it paid off so spectacularly. The Alaska Purchase wasn't just about acquiring land, it was about expanding the American frontier, about pushing the boundaries of what was possible. It was a bold move, a risky move, but ultimately, a move that helped shape the nation we know today. And it all started with a bunch of politicians arguing in a room, trying to decide whether or not to buy a giant chunk of ice from Russia. You gotta love history, don't you? Okay, so we've talked about secret rooms, spittoons, and even a whole underground subway system. But did you know that the Speaker of the House is second in line to become President of the United States? After the Vice President, it's the Speaker. This order is laid out in the Presidential Succession Act. Imagine the weight of that responsibility. It makes you think about the Speaker's role in a whole new light. It's not just about gaveling during debates, it's about potentially stepping into some enormous shoes. So the next time you see the Speaker of the House, remember, they're a potential future president. Let's talk about a power that seems ripped straight from a history textbook. The power to declare war. The US Congress holds this immense power, but the last formal declaration was in 1941 during World War II. Since then, countless conflicts and interventions have occurred without formal declarations. The nature of warfare has changed, with proxy wars and terrorism blurring the lines. This shift has sparked debate about executive power and congressional oversight. The decision to go to war is heavy, with profound implications for countless lives. It should never be taken lightly, formal declaration or not. Well, there you have it, a whirlwind tour of some of the weirdest, most fascinating facts about the US Congress. From secret underground tunnels to the power to declare war, we've covered a lot of ground today. And honestly, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of obsessed with all the strange and unexpected things we discovered along the way. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these weird but true facts about the US Congress, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments which facts surprised you the most. See you next time.